Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe JJ Korea Longgang. Today we are going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of living in a house versus living in an apartment. Here in Korea, old houses still exist, but mostly people nowadays prefer to live in an apartment. Do you know why? Well, Korea has 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. In Korea, the summer is too hot. It's humid. You know, when I came here in Korea, I thought Korea was a cold country. But when summer came, that's the time I said, I want to go back to the Philippines. In the Philippines, during summer, we still have wind, and in the afternoon, we have sunset. In Korea, they don't have sunset in summer. Even at night or in the evening, you can still see the sun above. That's why maybe it's hot here. And winter here. Even I live in a warm part of Korea, unlike Seoul. Seoul is always snowy. Here in my location, we are very lucky if we have snow in a year. When Seoul is snowy, we can feel the cold wind here. The wind blows very cold. It's like ice, but we don't have snow here. We have snow just maybe once every 3 years. Or once every 2 years, but the snow just very tiny flakes. So when it arrives on the ground, it melts quickly. So that's the reason that I can say living in a house and apartment have big differences. Let's talk about the good thing. First, in a house, the good thing is you can easily dry your laundry, especially if you are washing your blankets. It can dry under the sun rays. In an apartment, sun rays has time only, because in the afternoon there are shadows of other apartments, so the laundry can be dry in just one day. And then another good thing in a house is that when there's a family gathering or friends reunion, you can enjoy having barbecue party outside. You can have some drinks and children can play. Unlike in an apartment, if you are noisy, your neighbor will complain, or sometimes they might call a police officer. if their neighbors are noisy. Another thing is, in the house, you can have your own yard. You can plant some plants, flowers, or even a tree. But in an apartment, if you have plants in winter, you have to be very sure that you put it inside the house, or else your plants will die. And then apartment. Also, if you live in a house, it is very convenient when you go shopping, because when you get out from your car, it's your door already. Unlike an apartment, you have to take the elevator or go up the stairs. In that case, living in a house has big advantages. But let's move on to the advantages of living in an apartment. For me, guys, since I'm a foreigner in this country, I still don't love the weather here. So for me, living in an apartment has very big advantages. You can't feel cold in winter. You can't feel hot in summer. And you have a nice view above. Because if you live in a house, some cars will park in front of your doorsteps or in front of your windows, so you lost your wide view. Then apartment has a janitor. There are people who come over to clean the stairs or clean outside. Unlike if you live in a house, you have to clean by yourself. But still there is but apartment is expensive. You have to pay your monthly dues. We have here in the apartment. Unlike in a house, you don't have to pay. In an apartment, we pay our parking. We have wide parking lot, but we need to pay it monthly. And in an apartment, of course, it's not as big as a house. If you have a house, you can run around the house, but in the apartment, it's small. Apartment here in Korea is very expensive. Even if you rent a house, it costed $1 million. So you are lucky if you have a house here in Korea. That's why I'm thankful to God that I don't rent anymore, because we own our house, our apartment. It's so hard to live here in Korea because you have lots of insurance to pay, lots of expenses, lots of bills. So if you are dreaming to live in Korea in the future, you have to be wise. Save, always save, so that when like this pandemic comes, you have no worries anymore. Even in the Philippines, we need to be very wise. Spending millions in a day, tomorrow hungry. So that's funny. Philippines life pasikat. Okay guys, these buildings are apartments. Some are office style. Those people who live far and work here in Gyeongnam or Changwon, they live in an office style. They work there and at the same time they have their one room inside. The bad thing living in an apartment, especially in a tall building, is when there's an earthquake. It's not easy to run away. It's not easy to escape if you are above the building. So we just keep on praying that no more earthquake comes. We experienced here, I think that was 3 years ago. We really didn't know what to do. So all there's advantages and disadvantages. Everywhere we can find good points and bad points. Okay guys, I talk a lot already. Please subscribe and connect to my sponsors and my members. Please see their names and connect to them. Thank you so much. Please subscribe JJ Korea Longga.